There you are. Good afternoon. Today we're going to continue our study of the first Peter, the letter from Peter, and we're beginning in chapter 2 today. We're going to read about 12 verses, no, 10 verses, I'm sorry, 10 verses, and then I encourage you to have a notebook, and what we're doing is writing just one thought, one sentence, keeping it short as to what you got out of that reading. Okay. So I'm writing down what I get out of it. You're writing down what you get out of it. And we're going to just work our way through the scriptures. We're not even doing a whole chapter. We're doing about a half a chapter a day and then writing down what we got from that half a chapter, those 10 or 12 verses. Okay. So we're going to begin today. I've been sorting out this room. This is a guest room slash office, and I've pretty much spent the whole day in here sorting through books and notebooks and uh, trying to make sense of the mess that's here. And see if I can show you a little bit what's going on. Well, you can see I've been sorting on the bed, and then over here's some bookshelves, and then we have more bookshelves over here, and just trying to make some room, trying to organize things. I have too much stuff all over the house, and it feels good to kind of get it put back in shape again. So, shall we begin with our lesson for today? So this is First Peter chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. Therefore, rid yourselves of all malice and all deceit, hypocrisy, envy, and slander of every kind. Like newborn babies, crave pure spiritual milk, so that by it you may grow up in your salvation, now that you have tasted that the Lord is good. As you come to him, the living stone, rejected by men, but chosen by God, and precious to him, you also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. For in Scripture it says, see, I lay a stone in Zion, a chosen and precious cornerstone, and the one who trusts in him will never be put to shame. Now to you who believe, this stone is precious. But to those who do not believe, the stone the builders rejected has become the capstone, and a stone that causes men to stumble, and a rock that makes them fall. They stumble because they disobey the message, which is also what they are destined for. But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people belonging to God, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. Once you were not a people, but now you are the people of God. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. Dear friends, oops, and that's where I was going to stop, right there. We'll do dear friends tomorrow night. It's interesting. He inserts dear friends there just as if you could put therefore. It kind of has the same meaning. He stops and he's kind of laid out a thought here. You know, you're important, you're chosen, you're God's people, you're his living stones, you're his priesthood, you're a nation, all these things, and then he's going to make a point. And you could like I said, you could say, therefore, he goes on and then starts to give advice. Because of this is who you are, this is what you should be doing or not doing. It depends, he's giving advice here after that. So this was a good segment of scripture that we just read. And I personally, I really like the thought of Jesus being the stone, the rock, um, it's something steady. Nothing in this world seems to be steady. You can't count on anything in this world. And I feel as though something as steady as Jesus, as the rock. He's a foundation. He's something firm you can rely on. That gives me a lot of stability inside, thinking about him being stable. And so my statement that I'm putting down for this scripture is I trust in Jesus, the rock, and will never be put to shame, because that's what this says here. And the one who trusts in him will never be put to shame. So I'm putting myself into that scripture because it says the one, And I'm one of those ones who's placing my trust in him. And it says, I will never be put to shame. So that's a thought that I'm taking away from this scripture today. So I hope you take the time to go back and review this scripture, write down your thought, and I don't have it ready today, but here it is. Let me grab this to show this to you. About almost 13 years ago, it was 13 years ago, where I used to work. I used to work at a Christian college in the office. And one of the ladies I worked with in the office was taking a class, and they were doing a study through scripture. And what they did was they would read a whole chapter and then do what we're doing, just write that little brief phrase of what they got out of it, what it meant, whatever they shrunk it down to that one little statement, about 7 or 8 words. And they weren't allowed to go over. The teacher is very strict on that. For whatever reason, that was important to that teacher, to keep it very tight. But I shared that with my husband, who thought it sounded interesting. And he was spending a lot of time commuting at that point, 2 hours a day each way in the car, going back and forth to work because his company had been bought out and moved, and he had to start commuting from where we were. And so he had gotten the Bible on CDs and was listening to it in the car on his way over and back. And so he decided to listen to it, and it would tell you every chapter. So he could listen to a chapter, stop it, and then write his thought. And as a result of that, he made a notebook that it lists every chapter separately. See there? So it tells you the name of the book and the chapter number, and has it as a outline that he can fill in. And he's actually done it several times now over the years. First did it like 13 years ago. And so I've never gone through the whole Bible this way, but I'm looking forward to doing it. And here's First Peter. So this is mine. He gave it to me. I printed it out so I could do it, and I don't have it ready today, but I will give the link the next few days. I will put the link down below, and you can, hopefully I can do that. I hope I can put it there as a link, and then you can download it and you can write it next to the chapter as well, and kind of keep it in a concise place. Right now I'm doing it in a notebook, but having it here would be nice too, making it a little bit more legible. But this will be my scratch pad, and this will be my finished pad. I think that'd be neat. Let's just say over here, I've got something here about moderation. Oh, I don't need all that. You guys are here all the time. Yeah, he says, hi, I'm looking forward. I can't hear you anymore. Never mind. You're all good. I don't know what that means. I hope you can hear me. Or maybe you just haven't seen me on here lately. Maybe that's what you're saying. I'm here every Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Oh, now you can hear me. Okay. 10 o'clock Eastern time on Fridays. I do communion, and we have a little lesson out of the Derek Prince book that I'm reading. And I'm going to start doing this daily Bible reading. So you can join me. I don't know when that's going to be. Being live isn't critical, for the Bible reading. You can just know that it's going to be here every day, maybe at the end of the day or the next day in the morning. You can listen to it. I have a friend who always knows that she'll listen to me the next day, because then it's there. It's there when she wants to listen to it. And in the morning, she'll listen to that reading. And it just kind of helps her get started on the day. So you can do that too. You can just know that you'll hear me tomorrow, and that little scripture verse will be there. So that, and as is true as I needed to do this, and what helps me to be faithful is knowing that I'm doing it with you. Because if I'm doing it just for my own sake, it doesn't typically happen. But if I'm doing it because I know you're joining me, I'll be faithful to it. So God uses you to help me, and hopefully he uses me to help you, that we can do this together. All right. So that's it. I hope people can hear me now. I don't know what happened there, that people maybe couldn't hear me. Well, you have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.